Hello. Action. Let's go for a nice walk in the park with a delicious beer. So one of the first things I've noticed with German drinking culture is you can drink absolutely everywhere, including outdoors in the park. It's fantastic. But that also includes the street. I've also seen people drinking on the train. I'm not really sure if that's allowed, but people do it. Another thing I've noticed is it's not just acceptable to drink outside, but also in the workplace. Maybe not necessarily during work hours, but it's not uncommon that I've seen coworkers going out after work or maybe in the office still, but after work to drink a beer. You'll open up an office refrigerator and you might find beer in there. That's not a big deal. And actually the co-working space I have, it's the same deal. Another thing I've noticed in this country, which is not going to seem odd to any of my German viewers, but trust me, it's a thing in the US. I have not been ID'd here once to buy a beer. Now I'm in my mid-30s, and yes, I still get ID'd back in the United States to get a beer. Even buying non-alcoholic beer, you still get ID'd. And sometimes they say it's their policy up to until you look like you're 60, basically, to ID you, because we have such strict underage drinking laws. Well, the drinking age here in Germany is 16 for beer and wine, and 18 for hard liquor. So it's never really much of an issue. To my German viewers, do you ever actually get ID'd even when you're younger to buy a beer, wine, or liquor? Or is that really more of something they're supposed to do but no one actually does? Let me know in the comments below. Another thing's a little different out here. Most of the beer is sold in bottles. In the US, it's kind of more of like a 50-50 split between cans and bottles. But the cool thing about these bottles is they are not recycled. Instead, they are returned and reused and refilled. So literally this will go back into a plastic crate and it'll shipped right back to the brewer, and they're gonna wash it, clean it, relabel it, and refill it with beer and put it back on the shelves. What a fantastic concept. Because recycling is super energy intensive. Just reusing it is actually what we used to do in the US a long time ago, closer to the turn of the century, but that kind of got phased out. The other difference is these bottles are much thicker and heavier, so they're less likely to break, although the only downside of this is I do see way more broken glass in parks, streets than I do in the States. Because in the States there's just a lot less glass, and again, drinking outside and drinking in public is not allowed. Oh, another thing, to make sure people actually return these, the Pfand or the deposit is a little bit higher. In the States it's usually like 5 to 10 cents, sometimes up to 15. Here I've seen it anywhere between 8 cents and 25 cents. Another thing I love about German beer culture is the attention to detail. What I mean by that is every time I go out to a restaurant or a bar, they serve that beer in the correct glass, supplied to them by the manufacturer. It's never just in a random glass, unlabeled glass. Now in the States, pretty much all beer is just served in a generic pint glass. The only place I've seen that does that here is a microbrewery, actually, and obviously they don't have their own glassware because they're constantly making new beers and new things, and it wouldn't really make sense to make a glass just for a beer that you only have on tap for maybe a month or two. Speaking about microbreweries, that's one thing that Germany's kind of lagging behind on, and I think I know why. So in the United States, we had Prohibition between, it was like the mid-20s and it was the mid-30s, it was like a decade. During that time, we lost a lot of talent. We forgot how to grow the hops, we forgot how to make the barley, we forgot how to malt it, brew it correctly, distribute it, the whole 9 yards. So when Prohibition ended, there was really only a few breweries left in the States. Now in Germany, they never had Prohibition, but I mean, this brewery in particular has been around since 1328. Because of this dominance, I mean, these guys have been around forever, there's not really a lot of room for smaller players to enter the market. And what I mean by that is, you can get this really good beer for very cheap. And it's not just this beer, I mean every beer you can get here for like €1 is delicious. So, getting to the flip side of this. Every town or big city in the area has their own brewery. So when I was up in Regensburg, there was a brewery up there. All the restaurants and bars in the area serve that one beer. In Munich, there are a bunch of breweries and every restaurant serves a different kind of beer. So this is kind of how it used to be in the States. Sometimes it was even every bar would brew their own beer. And here they still have that. You know, you go to a town, they have the brewery, all the restaurants in that area serve that one beer, which is pretty cool. So while Germany might not have a ton of microbreweries, they have a ton of small and medium-sized breweries, which is really, really awesome. All right, now it is time to talk about the dark side of German brewing. And my German viewers, you might know what I'm talking about. But to my American viewers, you will be shocked. Over here, they have very interesting drinks. Some of them, they mix beer with cola, and they call that a beverage. Yes, I am judging. No, I have not tried it. Yes, I will try it at some point. All right, guys, so that's 10 things I've learned about German drinking culture, at least the culture here in Munich, that I've found interesting since arriving from the US. Is there something I missed? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys next time.